2020 Shelby GT500. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? Good afternoon. Thank you guys for coming back again to the channel. If you are new, welcome to the Team Scatcat channel. If you're returning, thank you again for coming back with us for another in Hellcat discussion on cars and car news. All right, everybody, so we already know what the topic of today's video is going to be. Obviously, we've all seen the reveal. We've all read pretty much every article that's come out on it. So now, let me just put my name into the hat of all the car YouTubers, so to speak, who have put their stamp of approval or stamp of disapproval on the upcoming 2020 Shelby GT500. The GT500 has been released at the Detroit Auto Show. Now, here's what I think about it. So if I were just to take a step back and just take a look at the new GT500, I will say, yes, Mopar diehard, Mopar blowhard, if you will, I will say that it is a damn good looking car. When the 2016 and 2017 Mustang base models and GTs first came out, I wasn't really feeling, you know, the new, more compact, sort of sleeker pony car look that they had going for them. At first it wasn't my thing. Then my buddy, That GT Rebel, go follow him on Instagram. You might remember that name as That GT Daytona, but he got rid of that Daytona. Now he's got a pretty dope Ram Rebel, which we're going to try and get a review on, so stay tuned for that in the future. But anyway, beforehand, That GT Rebel, That GD Rebel, had a 2016 Mustang 5.0 that I had to take care of for a little while he was overseas. So in that time, it was about 6 months he left it with me. In that time, you know, I got to drive it around. It was a 6-speed, so I got to drive it around, and you know, I got to feel the performance aspect, so to speak. For me, the 2016, 2017 GTs, for me, don't get it twisted. Like I said before, I'm a Mopar diehard fan, but I like all performance cars. I like all cars. I'm just a car guy in general. Of course, my number one since I was a kid has always been Dodge, has always been anything with a Hemi in it, anything that's got a Mopar branding on it. That's just my bias on that. But overall, I am a car guy. I give respect to all kinds of performance vehicles and all kinds of car enthusiasts, because in the end, we're all a family to begin with. For me, the 2016 and 2017 Mustang GT models, there was just something missing for me. I didn't feel the same excitement that I felt, because at that time I had my Challenger Scatback. I didn't feel the same excitement that I felt when I was behind my Challenger Scatback. Same thing, it was a 6-speed coupe. I just didn't feel the same thing like I felt when I was behind my Challenger Scatback. Then, my other buddy, Blue Bear, go follow him on Instagram, he ended up getting a 2017 Shelby GT350. Now, granted, it's the same body style as it was for the regular or the base GT models in 16 and 17, so it's the same body style, the same headlights of that era. But there was something about that car that I really did appreciate a little bit more. I don't know if it was just, you know, the brazen attitude that that car had when you looked at it. You know, a little bit more of the flashy exterior, a little bit more of the sultry interior, if you will. But there was just something about that car that, you know, I won't say I hated to admit to myself, because, you know, like, oh, there's the Mopar and Mustang headbutting all the time, so, you know, whatever, I don't care about none of that. I will say, though, that I really did enjoy looking at that car. And then now he's got this nice wrap on it, so for all that stuff, you can go look at Instagram and check that shit out. But he has a pretty nice wrap on that car, and the car itself is just a good looking car. From everything that I've read through Motor Trend over the years, that the 2017 GT350 was probably one of the best, if not the best, all-rounder cars for your money that you could buy if you're a performance car enthusiast. Now let's jump to 2019 here, a couple weeks ago, where they released the new Shelby GT500. Or should I say, they released a little bit of the new Shelby GT500. Good looking car. I like the way that, you know, at least for the front end, I like the way that it sort of has like that Ford Raptor-esque sort of, like, you know, air dams and whatnot. Excuse me. Like I said, overall I think it's a good looking car. Now you get over to the interior, obviously it looks like exactly what you would expect from anything Shelby branded for a Mustang. You've got your racing inspired bucket seats, but you have all of, like, you know, the nice amenities, an Alcantara wrapped steering wheel, the leather seats with heated and cooled, I think I remember reading, and same thing, heated steering wheel, all that stuff. So amenities and everything, all that stuff, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty fully loaded car. Now here is my one problem, my biggest problem with the Shelby GT500. Take a look at this. What the hell is that? Granted, I'm talking to you guys from the interior of an automatic Hellcat, but that was my choice. Now, this whole dial thing that's going on, I don't know. I think it's one of the stupidest new age things that are coming in cars. I mean, what is the problem with just having a regular gear shift, be it automatic or manual, just having a gear shift that you can put your hand on, shift into gear and go? Why do we need this new fandangled, I don't know, I feel like, you know, I'm talking about these damn kids, these damn millennials, stuff like that. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm being a real curmudgeon about it, but I don't care, man. Give me the goddamn gear shift. I don't care if it's manual or automatic. Give me a gear shift. Make it feel like it's still a car, man. It's like, you know, where's the driver connection at that point? Obviously, you want to be more connected to the road. That's what Shelby's trying to focus on, but where's the driver connection in that, man? I feel like that's a big thing that sort of takes a chunk out of the driver to machine connection, if you ask me anyway. Now, on that same topic, there is nothing that's been said about the GT500 coming in a manual transmission. Now, that's a little suspicious, because if you want to talk about the competition, the Challenger Hellcat comes in a manual transmission. Now we can get into trims that might not come with a manual transmission, but if you're going for a baseline 2019 Challenger Hellcat, you do have the ability to get it in a manual transmission. Chevy Camaro ZL1 comes in a manual transmission. You have the ability to get it in a manual transmission, or you have the ability to get it in the new 10-speed automatic. So in that case, the competition, whichever way you want to slice it, it can and does have the ability to come in a manual transmission. Now, I've seen articles that have popped up here and there along the rumor mill that says that Ford isn't totally discounting a manual transmission just yet. Ford is saying that it is possible. But to me, the fact that you're saying that it is possible now and that you just didn't unveil it at the Detroit Auto Show shows me that, you know, I get it, you're trying to make this blistering straight line while also having an awesome track car. That I understand, but for that other spectrum of car and performance car enthusiasts, I feel like you're really downplaying a lot of your fans on that one by not having a manual transmission. And we can get into, you know, all this stuff like the red eye doesn't have a manual transmission. You know, we can get into all the semantics later on, maybe another video. I'm just saying that even still, your competition has a manual transmission option available. I feel as if that should have been, you know, they had that nice blue one, then they had a couple other models. That should have been one of their models there. They should have already had that in pre-production. They should have already had a manual transmission ready to go. So now, if you didn't know, the last GT500 was pushing out about 662 horsepower with, I think, torque numbers following closer, a little bit closer to that. I wouldn't say mirroring, but a little bit closer behind that. So another suspect thing for me is that Ford has not released any of the engine specs. They released a lot of, you know, it comes with the Magna Ride, you know, you've got your track modes, and, you know, pretty much all of like your software stuff and like a little bit of the hardware stuff. But like the biggest thing we all want to know is what's it cranking out. Obviously, we know that Ford is trying to enter this car into the horsepower wars, if you will, but something to me is a little odd about not throwing out your engine numbers. Now, it could just be a marketing campaign for Ford, You know, maybe they're trying to squeeze out as much of the horsepower as they can before it starts to release and fall. But for me, I want to know, because let's be honest, this car, they say it starts at $70,000. True, so did the Hellcats. But with your markups, you're probably looking at like an $80,000 to $90,000 coupe, an $80,000 to $90,000 Ford Mustang, when you really cut it realistically and think about what you're going to go buy or what you want to go buy when it comes time for fall 2019, when these things start rolling off the assembly line. So for about $80,000 to $90,000, I want to know what kind of engine specs we are putting out. Now, obviously, as it gets closer to release date, I know they're going to release those numbers, but right now they say it's going to be 700 plus horsepower, so obviously a contestant in the horsepower wars. But the thing that I appreciate is that, you know, as the last GT500 was more, they wanted a straight line car. Now Ford says that they want this to be a straight line and a good turning car. Now I respect that. Personally, I am not a big track, as in track car, I mean like, you know, an actual like a road course, an autocrossing track. I'm not that big of a track car guy. I like more of the grand touring style, if you will, the Challengers, the Chargers, the big, fat, heavy cars. I like, you know, the straight line performance. I like just cruising and being comfortable. I don't need a blistering track car that can let me take a turn at 70 miles an hour, though it is nice and I do like to experience it. But personally, for me, that's just not my preference for an everyday performance car. Not to say that the GT500 is going to be an everyday performance car, but, you know, it's going to be an everyday performance car for the hardcore enthusiasts. And I appreciate that. I appreciate what Ford is trying to drive at with releasing this GT500. But anyway, 700 plus horsepower. I didn't see any torque numbers yet, but like I said, this could be just a marketing campaign getting all the hardcore Mustang enthusiasts to really, like, you know, sweat and, you know, let them all speculate, just as all the Mopar enthusiasts did when, you know, the Demon was coming out, when the Hellcat was coming out, all of this stuff. Try and get them to speculate to see what Ford and Shelby are going to do with this new iteration of the GT500. But obviously, let me know what you guys think about this GT500 in the comments below. To be totally honest with you, like I said before, I think it's a great looking car. I'm happy to see the GT500 come back. Mustangs, like I said, I've had a love-hate relationship with Mustangs. They might not be my favorite car, but if I was given the option to have, say, like a GT350 or a GT350R, I'd definitely jump at the chance. If I had nothing else and they were like, you can either walk or you can take this GT350. Hell yeah, I'd take a GT350, but luckily we're in a world where we can choose, mostly, relatively, we can choose what we want to drive. So for me, you know I'm going to stick with Mopar. Maybe later on down the road, as a second car, or, you know, some other sort of fun automobile, maybe I'd get into a Mustang. But you know, I'm all day Mopar or no car. All day, every day. Mopar, no car, baby. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the new GT500 in the comments. Let me know if you have any speculations for the new GT500. Also, wearing my Gentleman's Driving Club merchandise today. If you want to cop some Gentleman's Driving Club merchandise, they got hoodies, they got long sleeves, short sleeves, they got keychains, they got lanyards. I think they even got phone cases now or something. I know they keep releasing some cool new stuff. You can get 10% off with my code SCATCAT10 when you enter it at checkout. But anyway, YouTube, just wanted to touch base with you guys, see what you guys think of the 2020 Shelby GT500. Hope everybody has a good weekend, has a fulfilling weekend. Go out there and drive your cars, have some fun in your cars over the weekend, enjoy your days off, and of course, take care, YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one.